listening to You've Got 5 Options show, where every week Marta and Anna abandon their 5 children, 2 partners, and 1 cat to make a show especially for you. An artist, a challenge, a bullshit, a wisdom, and a surprise. Tune in and feel the magic of 5.
Hello everyone, this is Marta.
And this is Anna.
And this is You've Got 5 Options show.
And Marta is holding microphone.
Still working on having the microphone the most comfy setup.
Yeah, you were holding it like it's the most precious thing you have ever received, like with your delicate hands. It was really mesmerizing.
Yes, I should have had the photo taken now.
I think we can arrange that from that video footage that we constantly forget that it's being made when we are having the radio show. They can make a still, and then we will see how it looks like.
Yes.
Yeah, Dennis confirms. Dennis, why you are never in our video version? Why they never set a camera on you?
I think it's the plan, but they really don't like me.
Yeah, but don't worry, I'm the second most disliked person. One camera only shows my elbow, and that's all. So, Marta, you are the favorite of the station.
Yes.
That's gonna be one famous elbow.
Yeah, I will show it again. Yeah, that's the elbow.
Okay. Very good intro to today's show.
I always try.
Yes. So today, I thought you had something more, so I wanted to give you space.
No.
But you just try. Okay.
Yeah,
Trying is important.
Trying, that's all.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So, introduction to today's program.
Yeah.
Dearly beloved, we have gathered here to discuss
What are we discussing?
career design challenges.
Yes. Yes, that's what I've heard.
Yes. So why this topic today? Well, we are running this topic.
I like it that you are interviewing yourself. Like,
okay,
you asked yourself a question and then you will answer.
Okay, no problem. No, I think it's better you answer.
Wait,
You're right.
No.
Why this topic today, Anna?
I don't know, but I can provide you with an elbow. Okay. Marta, so why this topic today?
Okay, thank you. that will probably work better. Okay, so this week I went to Business Academy in Aarhus. I've been invited, not that I just barged on them.
Barged on them?
Okay, never mind. Okay,
well,
I was invited to be a guest speaker at Business Academy.
You didn't barge on them. I love this word.
Barfed on them either.
Yes.
So that's very good news.
That's always good.
So I did have an opportunity to talk to 2 groups of students studying innovation and entrepreneurship about designing career. A friend of the show, Greta, who has been here with us, she's teaching there a really cool subject called employability. And she has invited me to share my process of designing and redesigning career. And while I was there, I have asked both groups what are the biggest challenges that they encounter in being able to design their career. Because you can approach your career in a sense, like wherever wind blows me, I will get a job they give me, I will, study where they accept me, or you can be very conscious about having a career plan and designing your career. So today, so that's why the topic. Because a number of students have shared with me their challenges.
Yes.
And I thought that they are very valid challenges. And I thought that it will probably help many more people if we talk about them.
So you basically gathered those challenges anonymously, I assume?
Well, anonymously to a degree that they were raising their hands and telling the challenges.
But you don't remember them like by name, you cannot.
Not everyone, at least.
Not everyone.
However, they have given me more than 5 challenges, but I have decided to compile them into 5 challenges.
Why?
I don't know.
Why? Why 5?
Why 5? Yeah, good question. We have answered that question several times, right? Because 5 is just simply the best number.
Yeah, it's the best number in the universe. That's true. Okay, so today we are talking about designing the career. I'm actually really curious about this because I have a feeling that, in my case, it was most of the time anywhere the wind blows. Is that Bohemian Rhapsody?
Yeah.
Exactly. Thank you, Dennis. That's because I was thinking, why am I singing Bohemian Rhapsody in my head? And it's because you said anywhere the wind blows. And before, Marta, you will start, I want to ask Dennis. Dennis, are you designing your career or you are just like anywhere the wind blows?
I have started since that I now am employed and not just an intern to design my career and taking the reins and doing something about it. Creating the future, not just blowing where the wind blows.
Okay, well, I would like to actually still, as a part of introduction, ask you, both of you, a couple of questions.
Oh, Jesus.
Is that okay?
Yes, we are ready.
And
are we
Anna,
ready?
you have been answering that question before on air, but I still want you to answer that question.
On the ground.
Yes, on the ground. Yes.
I can also do in fire. Or in
I
water.
will ask Anna because I know that she's not going to struggle as much with answering that question, and that also gives you a little bit of time, Dennis, to think about the answer. So, who do you want to be when you finally grow up?
Oh my, no!
You can give many answers. It
I
doesn't
can
have
give
to
many
be
answers.
one answer.
Okay, of course, I still, even if sometimes I think if I'm not just talking to myself, that story, but I still want to be a writer. I want to write for a living, and I want to work in a radio or doing the podcast. So basically, two number one most profitable jobs in the universe. And I think I would also like to teach and public speak.
And public speak, that's
And
a good one.
public speak. I don't know if that's a profession. Some people on Facebook in their sponsored posts are trying to convince me that's a profession. I would actually see it more like a sidekick. But I like teaching as well. And I guess there are professions when all of those desires are combined. And I actually have come up with a couple of those,
Okay. And what makes you think this is the right thing for you?
Because I die and rotten slowly doing other things.
And as opposite to dying and rotting, doing other things, when you're doing these kind of things, what happens to you?
I feel like I'm still again being tricked into a coaching session with you, Marta.
No, I'm just asking questions. I'm gonna make a point at some point.
Okay, so your question is opposite of...
No, it's just that you said that when you're doing other things, you had that very vivid expression.
Very vivid, yeah.
So now I'm just curious, how do you feel when you do that stuff? Writing, teaching, podcasting?
Well, I feel very joyful and very passionate about the results if they are good. Even if they are bad, it's still okay. I don't know, it's just something that I truly love to do, and that's why I do it.
Okay, joy. That's
Joy.
That's the good
fulfillment, a sense of purpose and passion and mission. Dennis nonchalantly threw a cable when he heard me. Not sure what was that supposed to be. Too much cliche.
He's getting stressed, like, what the hell am I going to answer after that?
Yes.
But there is one last question.
Yeah.
And this one you have definitely answered a few times before, on
Okay.
air and on the ground and on waters probably as well. Who did you want to be when you were a kid and a teenager?
Writer. I wanted to be a writer, and I wanted to be a writer both when I was a kid and both when I was a teenager. However, of course, naturally, I was also told that writing is not really a profession. It's more like a hobby, and you don't make money unless you hit big. So I think I had that crazy idea to apply for studies in sociology.
We will go into that one a little bit later. So,
but I would like to say that I didn't really want it maybe to be a so how do you call that person who is a sociologist? No.
Sociologist, I don't know.
Sociologist, yes. But so it was a writer.
And that little episode where you wanted to be a cleaning lady when you were a little kid?
That was when I was 3 years old and I didn't know how to write. So that explains a lot. But yes, I also wanted to be a cleaning lady. I don't know why. Yeah, but I was apparently introducing myself to all the people. My name is Anna and I want to be a cleaning lady.
Okay, good. For now, it will be a very good, fulfilling answer. Thank you. And now, Dennis, who is looking at me slightly like he was going to kill me, but let's hope that's not the case. Okay, so who do you want to be when you finally grow up, Dennis?
I turned 40 in 3 weeks, so when it's grown up, I don't know. But I'm hoping to have my own production company and do radio and do TV shows with a couple of other people that you already know.
Do we know them?
Yeah.
Okay, good. And what makes you think that this is the right thing for you?
Well, I can answer that in two parts, because when I was little, I wanted to be a musician. And with my very, very bad back, the touring life and the number of hours you have to put in to become a touring musician, I just can't handle it physically.
Mm-hmm.
But doing radio shows and doing sound on radio shows and doing sound on TV shows, that I can do. And then play music as a secondary thing that I enjoy and I put as much energy into, but I can't afford to put all stakes on it. So.
Okay, good. Well, you've already mentioned that you wanted to be a musician.
Yeah.
When you were a kid and a teenager, did you have any other ideas? Like we are talking childhood and, the initial teenage years, not, like we will go later into like studying and stuff. But as a kid, teenager, any other ideas?
I made the decision to try and to go the music way when I was 17. I could feel, okay, this is what I'm going to do. I'm not going to do college. I'm going to do this. And I'm going to do it full time. And I'm going to put everything into it.
Okay, so you don't have memories like when you were 5 and you wanted to be, for example, like a police officer?
Fireman, Superman.
No, actually, my parents tell me, and I do remember it vaguely, saying to my mother at age nothing that I was sure that my future was on the stage. And so I knew from very early age that I wanted to do something on a stage.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Well, it's very much like my middle boy. He's also, since very young, he's very sure that he's going to be a musician, and he's very sure he's going to be a guitar player. Mm-hmm. And Slash is his absolute idol. Mm-hmm. So, okay, cool. So now I will just briefly tell you what are those 5 challenges. Mm-hmm. So challenge number 1 is knowing or being sure that what I choose will satisfy me for a long time, or knowing that I'm choosing the right path. So basically having that certainty or knowing that that's the right thing that I'm choosing for myself and that I will be satisfied for a long time. The second challenge is discipline and laziness. The third challenge is finding the courage to cross personal challenges, boundaries, to step out of the comfort zone. Number 4, knowing your value, strengths and weaknesses. And number 5, it's hard to foresee how it's going to be in 5 years for me. And that was especially from young people, the ones who are designing their career for the first time. People who were there already redesigning their career, it's probably easier for them than for someone that is doing it for the first time, still very young, being able to foresee what's the future for them in 5 years. So that were the top 5 challenges. Anything that surprised you?
No, not really, to be honest.
No, common challenges, quite understandable, right?
Yeah. Well, the one thing surprised me, but that is in comparison to the future, to the past, to the past of my life. No, to the past that I lived through. Mm-hmm. To the past experiences. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know, and I want to be a writer, huh? Mm-hmm. But at least I can come up with 3 creative ways on how to screw it up, so that's good. When I was young, I don't remember to worry if my choice will be still valid in 5 years. I don't remember that at all, to be honest. Mm-hmm.
And that's something that is probably, I could really see people who really know what they want to do in their life. So when you have this kind of people like the 2 of you guys, that already when you were small, you really knew you want to be a writer, you, Dennis, want to be a musician, and you have known it all this time, it's not a concern for you whether you will want to be a musician in 5 years, because you have already wanted it for 20 years, for 25 years. Okay. But if you have someone like me or other people, that were the students there who have never known what it is actually that they could be, or they had 15 different ideas, those people, they really struggle with like creating a vision of themselves in 5 years because they don't have that sense of what it is that they would like to be doing. And I think that makes it very interesting. And there are some people who have some ideas what it is that they would like to do. You know, it's in stages. It's not either or. It is, you know, there are also the shades of gray, so to speak, in between.
Some say 50.
Yeah, some say 50. I haven't counted them, but I'm sure there are some, you know, gray zones. However, I could notice that difference, that there were people, the ones who know since childhood or early teenage years, who really know who they want to be, they don't have a problem to create a vision for themselves in 5 years, or it's not such a huge challenge. And those people who are like, you know, like I even asked them at the beginning, why are you here today? You know, like what makes you come here today? And there are people who were there, it's entrepreneurship and innovation. I want to be an entrepreneur. I really want to learn and develop and grow, find my competencies. And then some other people like blank face. Like, why am I even here today?
Because
you know,
they accepted me, so I came.
Yeah. So, I mean, the students answering, you know, that question. So I think that's just this variety. Some of us know, have this very deep sense of who we want to be when we grow up. And I say when we grow up because I think hopefully we are growing all our lives. So as long as we're alive, we still have the chance to grow up and become that thing that we want to be. So that's why I call it, even though we are all here kind of in our midlife crisis zone of age, we are still growing up, right?
Yeah, but Marta, I have a question for you. Did you also have those thoughts like, am I going to want the same thing in 5 years when you were choosing your career path?
Yes, definitely. Yes. I've had a lot of these thoughts like, but you know, it comes with time. So when I was even making that speech yesterday, I was like, when I was a kid, I thought maybe I could be a lawyer, maybe I could be a psychologist, maybe I could be a performer, maybe I could be a diplomat. Like I had very various ideas on what kind of career I could have. And then when I saw that those ideas change every year or two, yes, thinking about am I still gonna feel this way in 5 years was a big concern for me. So choosing a university and thinking like, whoa, am I really going to be, you know, wanting to do that in 5 years was a good question, was a very, very valid question. Because I was getting uninterested. I was very passionate about that idea that I had for about a year or so. And then it was disappearing. And then there was another thing that I was passionate about. And for example, that was one of the really big questions that I was asking myself when I wanted to redesign my career. When I wanted to quit my job, I was like, whoa, but what if in 2 years I'm bored with that again and I don't want to do it? Like, am I willing to, you know, to put all at risk? I have 3 kids and so on. I have a tendency to get bored easily. I don't have that, you know, so that was a really, really big question. But of course, I found a way how to go around it. But okay, let us go into that first challenge.
So the challenge for today is how to redesign your career. And I believe that we should put that jingle just to mark that we are now into the solution mode.
Okay. A very challenging challenge of the week.
Yeah, I had to put the jingle.
Will we put it 5 times?
No.
Before every challenge?
No. Remember
once.
we were talking about having a short jingle with option 1. That was very bad. But we are thinking about it because it's always nice to have that nice musical breather, even if it's 5 seconds. So no, we will not go 5 times with the challenge jingle. That's an overkill, I guess.
Well, this time we don't have 5 options. This time we have 5 challenges.
Jesus, yes. Yeah. But so do we have an option per challenge or do we have 5 options?
We have 5 challenges and then we have a discussion for each of the challenges. Okay, but let's dig into the challenge number 1. Yes. Being sure that what I choose will satisfy me for a long time. Or being sure that I'm choosing the right path. So we actually started that discussion already. We started to talk about some people, they just know. They have this very profound sensation since they are small or since they are teenagers, young people, who exactly they want to be. And for that people, the challenge could be actually doing it. So the challenge could be, how do I remove all the limiting beliefs? You have mentioned some, Anna, already, that you were hearing that you cannot make money on being a writer unless you hit big and so on. These kind of things can really hold someone back in becoming a writer. So there are people who know exactly what they want to do, and then the challenge is to remove the blocks or limitations on the way in order to be able to become this one, which is still often very challenging, right? It's just that you know what you want to do and you need to remove the challenges, obstacles in order to become that. And then there are those people who have no idea, and what they need is the clarity. They need to figure out what it is that they would like to become. And how to do that? Well, for these people, I can tell you, if you are really at the very, very gray area, almost black area of that, I really don't know. I have a gray fog in my own mind, have no idea what to do, or have a very, very, very little idea and a lot of doubt. The only way, in my opinion, is to try things out. Especially when you are a young person and you haven't had yet much experience with many different things. The best way to do it is actually by trying different things out, joining different clubs, projects, volunteering, just simply gathering that experience and finding out how it feels. Because if you don't know it, if you don't have that sense of what it is, it's I don't know how much is the percentage of a chance that it will just dawn upon you that, this enlightenment moment.
Yeah, the piano of purpose.
Yes, the piano of purpose. The best thing you can do at that point of time is to try things out. So whenever you get an idea of what that could possibly be, you find a way to test drive it. That was my point. And here I had some questions that I wanted to ask you guys just to prove a point. But I am seeing that the time is running.
Yeah, just admit it. You saw our faces and you were like,
no,
I don't want to talk to those guys. They are useless.
No, I wanted to ask, you wanted to be a writer. What did you end up studying? You have explained.
I think, I wanted...
What you wanted to study.
Yes, yeah. Exactly. Which kind of is, kind of connected in a sense that it's a humanistic study, social sciences, not like physics, mathematics. I guess I'm trying to find the red thread here, yeah.
So you wanted to study sociology. You ended up studying...
marketing and management.
The first job that you took was... the first job you were paid for in relation, after you finished the education.
Student job counts?
Let's start with full-time.
Because that was logistic assistant. The first job was procurement master data administrator in SAP system.
Second job?
Business process. Senior master data. I don't remember. Something with master data and processes, yes.
Okay. And then when you were done with all the jobs with master data and processes, what was the job that you took?
Business process manager.
When you were already done with all the process jobs, what was the next job that you took?
You mean my last job?
I mean, we already get that you were working with the data and business processes. And what was the next career choice?
It's because I'm thinking, did I had a job between that and the chief operating officer? No, that would be
okay. So then the next job was COO. Basically, I just wanted to show that you wanted to be a writer, then you have decided to study sociology, then you ended up studying marketing and management, and you ended up working with master data and business processes, and then becoming a COO. And you have still said, actually, what I want to do is I want to be a writer, a teacher, and so on. Okay.
But just to make it clear, I was writing a lot of long emails to people
at work.
At points, they were sarcastic and snarky, and those were the ones I never sent. But that's how I was cultivating my passion, I guess.
So by asking you those questions, Anna, I wanted to make a couple of points. Point number one is, when my grandma was going on pension, she was like 45. When my mom was going on pension, she was like 61 or something. We probably are going on pension when we are like 70 or something.
I thought 102, but
Yeah. So we have really expanded our career life. And of course, there are some people who don't want to depend on pension system, and then they can, make the money and go still on pension when they are 40 or whatever is their preferable thing. What I wanted to do, what I wanted to show here is that first of all, it's no longer the only way to have just one career. So it's now very, very common that you can be redesigning your career many times, because this time when we are working has prolonged a lot with the general extension of our lives. And the second point that I wanted to take is that sometimes you need to try different things out before you find out what it is that you want to do, or before you reconfirm for yourself that that dream of a little girl that wanted to be a writer is still valid.
yeah, although I do have to say, if I may mention just shortly, that probably it is also because I have not perceived writing as a job. So I always had it in my head that that's something on a side that I would be doing, and the job is to make money. So that was something I truly believed in. And the other thing is, thanks to the experiences that I have gained throughout my, let's call it, career, and thanks to the education, I was also kind of trapped in a box. So if you are trying to apply now for a creative writer, if I would like to be a content writer, creative writer, the first thing would be, but you never worked with that. You worked at this and this and this. Your CV doesn't match. It wouldn't even go through the rootless automated CV systems, because they wouldn't find the keywords in my education nor in my experience that would point out that, okay, this is a match for a creative writer job. So then I would definitely have to figure out other ways on how to obtain those jobs.
Yeah. So still coming back to the challenge of being sure that you are choosing the right career path, or something that you will know will satisfy you for a long time. You still knew it back then already when you were small. The challenges that you've had were some of these limiting beliefs that writing is not something that you can do full time, and then being limited in a box of something that you have started to do, and you were feeling that you were thrown into, now I'm a process person or master data and process person, is difficult to get out of that box.
And maybe that's what those people, that person is afraid of, that I will commit to something and then it's not the right thing, and I'm kind of trapped in that box. So that could be that limiting belief that the person has.
Yeah, and definitely that's now, someone did ask me at the end of the lecture, don't you think that if you are changing your career several times, that the potential employers will see it as a bad thing? And then I said, well, that's a very good example of a limiting belief, because some employers will see it as like, why are you doing this? Aren't you committed and these kind of things? And while other employees will say like, what's wrong with you that you are doing the same thing over and over again and you don't want to be growing? So I think that this is kind of like, like the employer that you are looking for, also versus designing your own employment and so on. But I would like to close that option for now, because we are now approaching a half of our show. And I think the time has come to listen to a song.
Yes, so it will be the artist of the week, Dennis.